I do read some of the music blogs, and among the music blogs, 15 is by far one of the most overrated songs I've ever seen. They love this song. I hate 15 by Taylor Swift. But you know what? Whenever I watch this video, I am not thinking about Taylor Swift. So you want to know a deep secret? And if you haven't seen the video before, mute this intro, watch the video, then watch the intro, because I got a deep secret about it. Now, the big thing I remembered about doing this was the big monologue I had about this breakup I say I have, and then it turns out I didn't have. But, like, I rehearsed that over and over again because I wanted to get it right. I wanted it in one take, and I wanted to sound as sincere as possible to set up the joke. And part of the reason it does sound so sincere, and people told me they were, like, completely fooled by it, part of the reason it does sound so sincere is because I rehearsed the hell out of it. The other one, you know the part where I say, you know, except for the part where none of that ever happened to me. Most of it happened to me. Like, I was writing about Zach and Kelly's breakup, and I realized most of it, like, mirrors my actual first high school breakup exactly. Like, the only major difference between what I say and what happened to me is that it didn't happen at a dance. Everything else, that's how it went down. And so I am, like, tapping into my deepest, saddest regrets, and I wrote the monologue specifically to match how I felt at the time and how it happened. So that was me acting. Actor. So that's what I remember from it. I actually cut parts out of the reviews to fit the entire monologue in there, and I was really proud of how that turned out, because I'm not an actor. I'm not. But I was proud that I was able to fool people. So this is 15 by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. I just love this girl. I love that she writes songs about guys named Drew instead of Billy or Bobby or any of that phony country music crap.
She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts.
I love that she can't imagine how a guy could ever be interested in a girl who wears icky t-shirts. I love that she references Romeo and Juliet and the Scarlet Letter in just the right way that proves that she knows absolutely nothing about either of them. This girl, she's just adorable. And now, Taylor Swift wants to tell us what it's like to be 15. Yes, from the oh-so-high vantage point of being 19, Taylor Swift wants to tell us what it's like to be 15. God bless her adorable little button nose.
It's your freshman year and you're gonna be here for the next 4 years.
I'm gonna be honest, Taylor Swift has lost me already, because not only am I not 15, I am well past the point where I care what 15 felt like. I mean, here's all you need to know about being 15. Nothing you do, like, think, or care about matters. The end. Sorry, 15-year-olds, it's true, and if you don't believe me, wait till you're 25. Wait till you're 19. Wait till you're 16. Or ask Taylor Swift, because that's what the song is about. She's too polite to put it like that, but that's what the song's about.
15, somebody tells you they love you, you're gonna believe them. This is life before you know who you're gonna be. I didn't know you're 15.
As far as messages go, I've certainly heard worse. Still, even so, I'm not so convinced that Taylor Swift knows what she's talking about here.
Hoping one of those senior boys will wink at you.
Wishing to get hit on by creepy senior boys? Yeah, I totally did that.
And then you're on your very first date and he's got a car.
Date with a boy with a car? Yeah, that happened too.
You sit in class next to a redhead named Abigail, and soon enough of your best friends.
Well, I mean, that's just part of growing up, sitting next to a redhead named Abigail and suddenly you're best friends. Yeah, I remember all of this happening to me, except of course for the part where none of this ever happened to me. Boy, that second person pronoun is causing me all sorts of problems here. When Taylor Swift says when you're 15, what she actually means is when you're 15 and you're an attractive blonde girl. And I'm not any of those things, so none of this applies to me. Certainly not the part about dating or having friends. I wish he'd just cut the crap and say when Taylor Swift was 15, but I realized that would not have fit the meter. Yeah, I know, I'm not a girl, so maybe this doesn't mean as much to me. But I really do have to feel bad for all those little late bloomers out there listening to Taylor Swift, expecting to walk into 9th grade and come out of it with a boyfriend. Yeah, sorry Taylor, some of us had to wait a little while longer. Not me of course. Well, I mean, I said but like, I mean, when I turned 16, I was like King Romeo of the high school. I mean, there was. Can we move on?
When you're 15, feeling like there's nothing to figure out.
What is she talking about? I and everyone I know was a seething hormonal mass of inarticulate confusion at 15. I mean, I grant that maybe there are some cocky, confident, self-assured 15-year-olds out there, but am I really supposed to believe that ugly duckling girl next door, Taylor Swift, was one of them?
Someday, but I realize
Oh, this is important. This is the big emotional part everyone talks about.
when Abigail gave everything she had to a boy who changed his mind, and we both cried.
That means sex, right? Everything she had? That means sex. I mean, if it doesn't mean sex, if it just means that Abigail just gave this guy all her stuff, well then you've done her a real disservice, because it sounds like you mean sex. And either way, I'm not sure Abigail, who's a real person by the way, I'm not sure she needs you revealing her most painful secrets. And for the record, that's a really degrading way to put that too. Gave away everything she had? A woman is more than her body, Taylor. But that is a sad story. We've all got our sad stories from high school. I mean, I remember my senior year. It would have been my junior year, actually. My junior year, and it was me and my girlfriend Kelly. We were going out for more than a year at that point, and she'd been acting all weird and distant stuff. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was up, but I didn't know what it all meant. I'm just a dumb kid. I didn't know. And there was a big dance coming up. I figured that would solve everything. Big romantic thing we could do. She always liked going to dances. We could go to the dance and things would be all right. But the dance came and we got all dressed up. We went and nothing changed. She was still weird. And I said something. I confronted her on it. I didn't know what it meant. I wanted to know. And we went outside to talk, and she told me that she didn't think she could be my girlfriend anymore because there was this other guy. It was some college guy she knew from work. I'll be honest, it wasn't a complete surprise. And we talked some more. Crying happened. And we had one last dance, and then we broke up. We broke up at the dance, and it really, really sucked. And as far as high school goes, that was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me. Except for the part where none of that ever happened to me. That happened to Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell.
Zach, I'm so sorry.
Okay, now imagine I told you that whole story, but it's about my friend Zach now. I think we'd all agree that the story loses some of its impact, right? No matter how sad I am about it. And believe me, I was pretty sad about it. And the reason why it loses its impact is because it's easy to be honest and emotional about something that happens to someone else. By all means, Taylor, spread more of that hot gossip about Abigail, but what happened to you? Weren't you dating some boy with a car?
Back then I swore I was gonna marry him someday, but I realized some bigger dreams of mine.
That's it? That's all you're gonna share? What happened? Why'd you break up? Was he a heroin addict? Did he cheat on you with Carrie Underwood? Was he called back to his home planet? You just got nothing you want to say about this, huh? And yet somehow I'm supposed to care that Taylor Swift cries for Abigail? That's too distant. I'm not going to be sad because she's sad that Abigail's sad. And I do know that there are people out there who think this is the most heartbreaking thing in the world. And you know what? Good for them. Good for them. And I'm sure they have their reasons. And I'm sure they want to share those reasons. You know what? Please don't. I can't do anything with that information. I'm not going to sit here and be sad because you're sad that Taylor's sad that Abigail's sad. And let's be serious. That part was always going to be about Abigail. Because Taylor Swift is not going to write a song where she gives it up at age 15. Maybe that trampy redhead Abigail does that, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift lives in this perpetual Norman Rockwell world where she's always just had her first kiss last week and she has friends with names like Abigail and Gertrude and Mildred probably. Yeah, I will be honest, this is pretty far from the worst song I've ever heard, but it's not universal and it's not particularly personal. I mean, it does not hold up. Taylor Swift is 19. She hasn't experienced anything that matters. Except maybe this. I actually think that Taylor Swift is a very talented songwriter with a lot of potential, but seriously, wake me up after she's had 2 divorces, develops a drinking problem, and starts making some actual country music.
15
Together!